Okay, it's a little bit different video this time. Thinking about calling this Sidetracked at Autopolis. And the reason that is, and the reason for the difference in this particular video is typically this, here lately, not typically, I guess, I've been putting up some multiplayer races from the daily races in Gran Turismo. And one of the daily races this week was at Autopolis, and I felt I needed more practice there. So I just started practicing at Autopolis, and one of the sort of random gift cars that I got for my, daily driving reward or whatever, was this old Corvette. And since I did not have this in my garage previously, I was like, you know what? Let me just take this old turd around. It doesn't really fit the specs of what the multiplayer daily races are, but if you've watched any of my racing videos in the past, I kind of like some of these old heavy lead sleds that are particularly fast in a straight line, but are very suboptimal through the corners, we shall say. Just because they're fun to drive. These front engine, rear wheel drive, heavy cars, high power, low grip. It's just fun. Especially with they don't go through the corners at such high speeds. You can have a slower reaction time. There's more chance to sort of feel the suspension shifting and moving, and you can take a little bit more time to react to the basic physics that are going on in the game, and it's just more, I don't know, something enjoyable about it to me. So instead of doing my typical multiplayer daily race, today I'm just going to do just a quick little arcade race to showcase how fun this old Vette is to drive around Autopolis. But let's get to it. We'll get out of the garage here. It's a beautiful effing car. We're just going to go into arcade single race. And, the racing in arcade mode is fun, but of course it's geared in such a way where it's geared into your favor, basically. Even in professional mode, that's what we're going into right now. The odds are that, all you have to do is just do what the game tells you to do and you're going to win. There's performance indexing, there's the balance of power. All these cars are sort of leveled out to where you're going to be faster than they are. Even if then they're in a car that's more powerful, it's more modern, they detune these cars so it's winnable. Also, there's rubber banding on the arcade races, so the cars in back will go a little bit faster, so you'll be able to catch up. So it's very artificially rigged in the favor of the player, which is fine. Like I say, I've just been driving Autopolis just to learn it, and one of the reasons I really wanted to focus on getting some good practice time in on this track is it's a very fun track, but it's very twisty and turny, very few chances for you to relax, and very few chances for you to cleanly overtake, because the road is always changing direction. It's not easy to pass cleanly at this track, and I try to race as cleanly as possible in those multiplayer races because I don't want to be the guy that rams people off the road. So I thought I'd focus on just practicing this track. But that's one of the things that you'll see is it twists and turns so much that you really need to just keep an eye on just being clean through the corners. And of course, it's a very different discipline learning to race against these AI drivers than it is to race against human opponents, because human opponents tend to behave in a more predictable way. They'll get through the corner about the same rate of speed that you will, whereas these AI drivers sort of slow up. They decelerate quickly through the corners, much more quickly than they need to get through the corner, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit easier to accidentally ram into them in the corner when you're trying not to, because they go pretty needlessly slow through some of these corners. And as you can see from the setup here, I've just got, the weight and the power is factory standard. Traction control is off. I've set the tires to medium. I've also set the brake balance to the front because I have for this, just because this is just a fun race for me, I've turned the ABS off. And with the ABS off, this car has a tendency to really want to swap ends under braking, because there's a lot of body roll in this car, longitudinally and laterally. But when you're braking especially, so much weight shifts to the front tires that your rear tires lock, and it gets really squirrely under braking. So I've got the suspension tightened up a little bit. I haven't really tuned it as far as it could be, but I've tightened it up some, but there's still so much body roll that I feel like without using ABS, I really need to tune the brake balance in preference to the front, just to be able to brake a little bit better under a straight line. Everything is standard. I did change the transmission from the regular 4-speed to the 5-speed adjustable, although I have not adjusted any of these factors or adjusted the final gear. I just wanted to change it to a 5-speed. And outside of that, it's pretty standard. But with that, we'll do this thing. Okay, long run down here into 1. Bit out of the slipstream, so this is all on us. Hard braking into 1. Hard as you dare be without ABS. And you can see there that the traction control is off. Trying to listen for that wheel spin. Go up on the inside on this double apex corner. Usually, because they come in there defensively so often, I usually try to go around the outside of that set of corners, so it puts me on the inside for this right-hander right here. And that's one of the better passing opportunities I've found against these AI drivers anyway. I don't know. I have yet to formulate a strategy against multiplayer as far as overtaking and defending. So what's really what around Autopolis here. And into this first gear hairpin. Lots of trail braking as that dude goes a little bit wide, misses apex. Okay, we started out in 11th. We've only come up 1 position. It's a 3-lap race, so it's going to go by pretty fast. We can carry a lot more speed than they can right there. That's a good spot to gain some ground on them. Tier 2. Got a little bit sideways there. And there. And up to the final set of corners. Whoa, easy. Whoa. Blew it. Hacking blew it. Okay, now we are in some slipstream. We'll get at least a couple of people here on the straight. Fighting the directions, is still wanting to pull me a little bit left and right under braking. Okay, made it through turn 1, lap 2. And we are up into P6. Whoa, 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 recovery. Sneak in here on the inside. The AI drivers at least tend to really leave that door open a lot. And I'm just coming through like, thank you. This long left-hander right here is kind of cool. You come in at kind of third gear. You don't really need to brake for it. I just sort of lift and downshift. And they're usually going through there so slowly you can come all the way around the outside on them. Again, doubtful that's a viable strategy in multiplayer, but against the AI, it is what it is. Whoa, bit more drifty than I wanted. So close. Yes, got him on the second apex. Yeah, if you want to pass cleanly around here, you really got to pick and choose. Spacing out and took that corner too hot. All right, we're in P2. This is totally doable. We're out of the slipstream, unfortunately, so we're just going to have to make it this last lap on merit and performance indexing and rubber banding. It's still fun regardless. Knowing that doesn't take any of the fun out of it. And it's not like it's effortless. It's not like it's an automatic free victory. Let's get him in here. Oh, that was a bit brash. That was not a cool overtake maneuver. That was a bit nasty. Not proud of it. I don't know if I'd have gone for that in multiplayer. Probably not. Whew. That hairpin being on the crest of the hill there really helps to kind of get you woed up and get you through that corner. It assists your, the gravity assists your braking through there a lot. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm screwing up. Gotta focus, gotta focus. Okay, whoa, got it back and then he hit me. Oh shit, oh shit. Probably fair play for what I did to him in that one corner. Just hug the apex, or hug the apex line right there. Through the final corner. And that's it, we've done it. He's not going to be able to get us before the finish. Boom! Oh, that's a good one. It's a short little race. And like I say, it's totally rigged in my favor, but just the physics of driving around that track in that car are just too fun. And basically that has sort of been what I've been doing instead of the multiplayer races. And that's why I've been sidetracked at Autopolis instead of putting up another multiplayer video. But you notice here in the replay, aside from the fact that just how beautiful that fucking Corvette is, that even with the suspension tightened up a lot, I've got the springs, the dampers, the anti-sway bars all cranked up higher than it's set from the factory, there's still significant body roll in the car. But it's like if you watch a replay without tuning that suspension a little bit, it's even worse. it's comical how much that car moves around under braking and turning and acceleration. It's just all over the place. Look how low that nose dives down there. And all that, of course, greatly affects your ability to brake and get through the corners. And, you know, with that much front to rear body roll, it's very easy to come out of a low speed corner with too much throttle and just sort of understeer your way out of it. And combined with how much power the car's got, if you've got the traction control turned off, it's very easy to that same too much power to give you oversteer. But kind of if you're dancing along that razor's edge of oversteer and understeer when you're coming through a corner, one of the great and fun things about it is employing throttle steer. Where if you're coming through, because there's so many of those long double apex corners in this track that you'll be coming to at, you know, a little bit more speed than you really should be coming to them. And the vet is really wanting to understeer wide of the corner. If you just give it a little bit more gas, then the rear tires break loose and the nose once again points back to that second apex through the corner, and you're just using the throttle alone able to nurse the car through the corner and course correct with the throttle, which is once you kind of start doing that, it's phenomenally fun and rewarding, and it kind of makes you feel like a total badass, even in an arcade race where all the results are completely rigged in your favor. It makes you feel like just a badass driver with hella car control, even when that's not the case. But all right, that's it. I'll post some more videos. We'll probably try to get back to multiplayer racing in a day or two. Thanks for watching.